Hello my darlings, and welcome to another session with me channeling heaven. It's unprecedented, isn't it? The response I've had from the Israel connection, and I literally just going to go up again. I have no idea who I'm going to connect with, absolutely none. I've set my intentions and we'll see what messages anybody has to give us. You know, it's always an experiment every time I go up there, but they never let me down. So let's see what they've got for us this time, shall we? I've just got back from the GC conference. I will do a video about my experiences there and all of the beautiful people I met. But I just felt that I needed to do this for you. I was in Kissimmee in my favourite mineral shop, as they call it, the black mineral shop. And I got this zeolite, which is fantastic for spirit communication. So I'm going to be using this today. Look at that, and it's got a beautiful lump of citrine in it. Oh my God, I had to have it. I've also got the most magnificent angel quartz. And I'm back now with a jumper on. That's not very good, is it? No, it's absolutely peeing down for England. Everywhere's flooded. And I've got the heating on. It's not a good look. So, oh, this is so powerful. I really need to bring the video down a bit so you can see me holding this, but perhaps it doesn't matter. So without further ado, I'm going to go up to the Crystal Palace frequency and see who's there. Okay? Let's go with it. Forgive me if I close my eyes. Okay, so they've got me on the path already. Ringing in my ears has started. Whoa. Could be going into angel frequency. That would be good, wouldn't it? Archangel, I've gone straight up to the door. An angel has opened. Blue, power blue, Raguel. Raguel is connected with my frequency to allow me to go into the Crystal Palace dimensions. He is the Archangel of balance and harmony, and I adore him. And I always feel emotional when I'm amongst angels. So please bear with me. It's taking me forward to the Celestial Garden. I can smell the magnificent roses, hear the buzzes of the bees, the fluttering of the wings that sound thousandfold. Dragonflies, butterflies. Oh, that's nice. I can feel the sun on my back. The light is nothing like you've ever seen in your life. The colours are nothing like you could possibly imagine. It is all so vibrant. And there just doesn't seem to be a source. You don't kind of see shadows like, oh, the sun's shining down. The place is just lit in the most vibrant light, and everything is just so bold and so beautiful. I can't find the words to describe what it's like to see and smell what happens up there. I'm being led to the chambers of the archangels. Yes. I think we're going to an archangel energy. It's a faint song of the seraphim. I don't know which chamber it's going to be. I'm aware that the first one is normally Michael, but we've gone past that. by all means, if someone wishes to put the timeline in for when the philosophy actually starts, please do. But I will not rush this, and I will not adhere to TikTok time when I am up in the celestial planes. I knew it. I just knew it. I'm being taken to the chamber of Archangel Ariel. Hang on. Archangel Ariel is the archangel of the animal kingdom, the planet. She helps in disasters and also helps assist with the weather. And she also helps us with base chakra things like home, living, problems, circumstances. She's my parking angel as well. Oh my God. I hope she doesn't hear that. I'm just like denoting her to a parking angel. When things are crazy at home, I'm just standing at the cavern waiting for entry at the moment. When things are crazy at home, you know, with base chakra stuff, I always call on her to help me sort everything out. I'm sure she does. Do you know what? When I lose things, I think, where is that? And I get a flash of where it is. I've started remote viewing where things are if I lose them, and I'm sure it's her assisting me. I don't know who it is though. I lost my bank card the other day and I got a flash of where it was. It happens all the time now. It's amazing. It's because I'm plugging back in, including the GSIC conference, that's waking me to a second level of understanding. I'm starting to just be awake again like I was before my accident. New Nicky Alan is rising. Heaven's opening. Archangel Ariel at the moment is showing herself as I recognise her with sometimes her energy pushes down a bit on your collarbones. Don't ask me why. She looks like a vibrant, wild, red-haired, pale-faced, stunningly blue eyes, beautiful being, flailing in a breeze unseen, and green robes. She could come to you completely different because she does work on the pink ray of energy. However, that's how she identifies herself personally with me. I feel I may have attracted her energy or the other way round because of my book currently being edited, Earthwalkers, and I feel that perhaps that's why I am in her chamber. I'm not sure. I'll explain why in a moment. Hello. Here we go. I noticed that hang on a minute, I need to change this. I'm not trancing, I'm not doing any of that old BS. I'm repeating what I'm seeing and what I'm being told, okay? Just to make it clear. Oh yeah, she tranced and she was bringing archangels for her body. No, I'm not. I am repeating rather than, what I normally do is I get everything I can, try and remember, or when I come down and I relay it in a soul journal, then tell you, I'm going directly live to her and bringing it to you, okay? Okay, so she's talking about, I was talking about the weather earlier and there was a crease across her face. It is apparent that I talked about, which I can't remember, about experiments being made on the planet and on humans. The weather condition, there are experiments also going on with weather. There are certain frequency and sound generators that resonate with the atmosphere that can create weather conditions, and she is not happy about this. I don't know if this is another sort of controlling element to humankind, but there seems to be traces in the sky that we would recognise. Perhaps this is the line of the clouds, the shape of the clouds, unusual cloud formation, lattices, trigonometry is off. I don't know what she means by that. it isn't right, it isn't explainable what is happening. Okay. Explain my writings. Okay, back in 2014, I think it was 2014, I'm not creating great thought at the moment. You all know, if you've read my book, Me, Myself and I had a download for about 5 hours in sleep state, where I was shown the most magnificent story of the planet about to end, and a high court held with galactics and spiritual beings upstairs, if you like, who were deciding with God, the omnipresence, whatever you want to call him, whether to save the planet or keep it. The options were to decimate the planet and take up the higher evolved souls that could handle being on other planets and handle telekinesis. Or the options were to incarnate, which has never been done, angels into human beings without them knowing, connecting with special crystal children and creating happenings that will wake people up to the emergency that's before them, the disaster that's before them, that the planet is about to end. And I wrote all this out and did my first book in about 3 or 4 months, thinking it was just fiction because the characters are so fantastic and amazing. And I was advised that it's actual prophecy, and that the reason why I have been inclined to go to the fictional side of this book is to reach it out to more people that will see it as just a fictional fantasy book. This is actually true, what I have downloaded and written in this book. Humans will access this information, believing it is fantasy, but we need to sow a seed in the pineal gland and the consciousness of every being on the planet. Things are afoot, however. The Schumann resonance has risen. I am still, along with Gaia, she uses a blah word, which it's a frequency thing, but I know that's Gaia. I can't, it sounds like a wow, but she's acknowledging that there is a crisis, firstly with the weather and the planet, as we already know. It's more urgent than most people think. Humans just doing the rules concerning your recycling isn't enough. You are not doing enough. We are helping the leaders to grow and start spreading awareness, but we still need it to start with lightworkers, portal mediums, which is in my book, and I'm one of them. Never thought I would be. Jodie is the character in the book. I think that's the second book. And we need to be picking up plastics, microplastics from the beaches. We need to be signing petitions that go to these governments, because the leaders that are presently conducting everything to do with saving the planet have got the priority of money and generating money and taxes because of it, as opposed to really wanting to help. The UN does not help. The World Health Organization doesn't help. We are trying to implement people becoming awake. She's asking me to do it's called a video, don't know. She's asking me to present information on how you know you're awake, which I'll do in another video, okay? So when you would say in a cliche, if you continually kick a dog, it will bite back. And this is exactly what is happening with our planet that we birthed so long ago. There are other planets that have been birthed and respected. However, this one is the dog that has been kicked far too much, and we are now biting back. The frequency, the resonance, the physical reality of the planet is now biting back. You will see more volcanoes, you will see more earthquakes, flooding, disruption to the natural state of being. You will see things warm up. However, we do talk about the icebergs being melted. However, there are still others that are freezing and growing, and this is being helped by light workers and others that are trying to implement a safety procedure for the planet. Consciousness can be helped by sending love to planet. People don't understand that the earth and nature and everything that grows within it resonates on a frequency. We all resonate on a frequency. If we send love, growth, nurturing and kindness to the growth of plants, trees, animals, grass, anything that lives and creates frequency will hear that frequency, will hear the love, will hear the nurturing. I suppose if you talk about the skeptics of the world, the beings that are not open, that remain closed, they will laugh in the face of you sending love to a tree. But you have no idea how much energy you can create for the good or the bad of this planet. At the moment, the balance is off and we are still trying to fight to maintain an even keel of nature and nurture. The people that lead the way are only money orientated. They only want to see how they can invest in doing such things. How do you want to say that? She's kind of showing them, like, she's going back to how people changed the view of Pan, the king of the elementals. You know, he was half man, half goat, and he was changed into the devil. So she's pointing at the main leaders, not all of them, but most of them, and she's kind of likening their image as Pan, even though that is not the image of the devil at all. But there you go. There are progressions, that's not the right word. There are, I'll just put it in my own words. There are things in place at the moment to push and rectify leaders that are creating nothing but harm to the planet, to humans, to nature. I think she's talking about fracking because she's showing land and it's cracking. And I think that's what she's trying to show me. They will come to pass, they will come to justice. So it appears that works are being made with Ariel, and I assume, I've just seen greens because in my eyelids it's Raphael, to get these pushed away. Hence why we all need to have our words. She's showing me petitions, she's showing me documents. So having a voice alone stands in the dark. A voice surrounded by other voices creates light. So stand up for what you believe in. Don't watch it all go by and think, oh, this is all bad. Do something about it, you know, and just even learning how to meditate and connect back with the universe, you will be driven, you will be given ideas on what you can do to help the planet and the human crisis that is prevailing. 2026 is a pivotal moment of judgment as far as the celestial realms are concerned. By 2026, if we haven't woken up, there could be demise of the planet from there. It's not too far away, ladies and gents. I do not want to create a dismal view of the beauty that is beheld on the planet, in the planet, and that thrives in the planet. I don't want to take that away. However, we have to deal with the darker side of the planet and bring light into this space. There will be catastrophic losses of human beings because the planet cannot continue to thrive as it would by being interfered with too much. She's showing me lots of water, so I don't know if there'll be another tsunami soon. The frequencies are shortcutting. The amount of souls on the planet that aren't spreading the love, spreading the consciousness, spreading the kindness, trying to look after their patch, if you like, of their country, their world, their state. The ones that are close and not aware are creating the downfall of everything. I think she's trying to say we all have a responsibility to fight for our country, fight for who should be leading it, fight for the animals that can't represent themselves, the children that can't represent themselves, the planet, the war. She's brought up the Ukraine. Everybody seems to forget once one war begins, that's because I was talking about Israel and Palestine, we cannot forget the souls that we are still bringing up in droves from the Ukraine. You have no idea how many souls the seraphims are bringing up. You only see what the liars choose to show you on the screens that you watch. Okay. There are fundamental leaders. Fundamentally, leaders should have been picked from being aspired to by others or because they earned it. It appears at the moment the main leaders of this planet that bring the darkness are surrounded by pentacles, money, that is. So I think she's trying to say that the bigger the money, the bigger the leader that seems to have his fingers or her fingers in all the pies that run this planet, which I hope will be brought down. It's not all darkness. She's showing me light going across the Antarctica. She's showing me the rising of islands or awareness that will be brought to you. The happenings have already started to take place. We are inspiring creditable leaders of medicine, of humanity, of what you call the paranormal. We are inspiring you and bringing you information that you need to spread of what you're being shown. People need to open up to the fact that there are other frequencies, there are other planets, there is an afterlife that you call it, and that we merely go on. However, we like to ascend our souls, and one of our favourite places to visit to create this experience is the planet Earth. This is why we've held on for it for so long, because there is a fondness for this place. However, there will be no issue in us deciding to decimate a planet if we believe it can no longer continue because of the abuse it is receiving. We had no idea that the ego of humans would become so strong that it would connect and violate the higher dimensional beings of a person incarnated on this planet. What she's trying to say is ego, lust, greed, money, tyranny, control, resentment, jealousy. They didn't realise how much they would overwhelm the divine frequency of the top chakra points, that they're overwhelmed the soul. The first being the Adam and the Eve that we call them. This is a question that came up. There's a question that came up from someone in an email that said, did Neanderthals have, cavemen and that, did they have divine connections? And my answer, I've been shown it, is no. The first humans to have a consciousness or a soul connection to the divine source was the Adam and the Eve. And from then on, it so happened Sophia and Lucifer were down watching how the humans interacted and how they learned to connect to the divine. And this is where Lucifer became exceptionally jealous of the physical connection between the two humans, and that created his downfall and his extradition from the divine frequency. Can I ask something? Am I able to ask something, Ariel? This is kind of biblical. We're going biblical. Okay. I'm not a Christian, just for you lot. I'm not a religious person at all. I know that it is rules written down to control you and to make you completely weakened to the fear of a higher power judging you and throwing his wrath at you. No offence. However, there were seers and prophets Jesus being an ascended master, he wasn't anything magical, he just literally was an ascended master. Am I right, Ariel? Yeah. And people made notes and wrote of his, like me, I'm not saying I'm Jesus, but you know, someone wrote notes of prophets and seers, and they come to pass, and they chronologically put them in place and created them in one book, and then it was changed, translated for human consumption and human control later on. So there are elements of prophets and seers in the Bible that actually were telling truths. And this is how I've become a bit confused, because I'm like, I don't want to be doing the Bible, but I have been corroborating evidence and sayings and chambers I've experienced, and when I've Googled them, they go back to the Old Testament. And so it merely is the recordings of seers and prophets that witness things, but in translation there was a lot more that went in there to help control the masses through religion. We need to care more for animals. We need to care more for sentient beings that have no voice. We need to really seriously think about our diets. We need to think about how animals and children that don't have voices are treated. There is mass hate, mass suicide, mass murder, mass darkness that creates itself around this planet that we need to eradicate. It is so simple. You just need to link back to source, and you will be filled with divine interference, divine timing, divine ideas, divine intervention. And those little whispered ideas, if you allow them to come in and be magnified, will eradicate the ego that pushes you forward. Waking up is key to saving this planet. I don't know what's happened. She's just got a hand out with a stone in it. I don't know what's happening. Hang on. These are even crystals. She's got the ump about that, because she's showing me she had a stone and then she put it close to her fist and opened it and it was gold. And she's like saying about how people have just literally torn the planet apart for value. I have just reminded her that there's friendly ways of getting crystals, and then there's blasting the crap out of the planet, but I always get the companies that are friendly crystals. But crystals are very important. Crystals have been implemented since the beginning of time to assist us. Their resonance helps us to connect to different frequencies. The resonance of them also can help heal us. They also are used in technology, whether it be your phone, scanning machines. This brings me to a lot of things that I've realised on my last conference. I won't go into it too far, but use what is on the planet. When we provided this planet for humans to experience their incarnations, we created a cure for every ailment that could hurt the physical body in this atmosphere. And that is yet another complete, flagrant disgrace that the leaders, the people with the pentacles, money, choose to give you chemicals, choose to give you things that will keep you unwell for pentacles. Yet, naturally, the cures are there. These people know it. So if we have a pentacle man sitting on his pile of gold, knowing that there are plants, shrubs, trees on the planet that can heal the gravest of ailments, how could he possibly harvest that and sell it? He couldn't, for we could all just walk to those shrubs, trees, and harvest them for ourselves. And so, yes, there are certain medications that have been created, we have instilled in the minds from our galactic friends and from our healer Raphael. We have instilled in certain scientific minds ideas on how to cure things. However, I say it again, we have created a cure for every ailment that a physical body shall experience on this earth plane, and that is controlled as well. And so you see why I find myself showing an image of what you would call frowning, because there is so much wrong on our beautiful planet, yet there's so much beauty. We ask you to be inspired. We ask you to think about what you can do to help nurture, love, and create opportunities of growth for things such as bees. We have watched over millennia the various animals that have become extinct. Your word is extinct. We have watched the creation through molecules, sound, frequency, and light be dormant, that have ended up being dormant, I think she means extinct again, through human interaction. Initially, nature created the change of evolution through things from the sky. Meteorites, do you mean? There's light coming from the sky, I think she means that. So nature decided to cull and stop, advance, denumber, whatever the words are, I can't think of the numbers, Ariel. They chose how to do natural culling purely to maintain balance on the planet. The shift in human awareness, technology, and gain now is purely down to pentacles and power, and that is why the planet is in disarray. You are being controlled in what access you have to feeling better, to having medication, to what foods you really should be having. The pioneers of food intake, consummation, are being cut down in their numbers. They're trying to show the truth of what your body needs. However, this won't make money for the pentacle people. Open your minds. Close down your belief systems and open your heart. Connect back to us, and we can show you the way on how to improve the consciousness, the frequency, and the light that needs to be re-established on this planet. If we can continue to accept that we are being led by pentacle people, if we continue to accept and leave other people to try and save the oceans, the planets, look at the plastics in our oceans. Who created the plastics? It wasn't us. And also I have Nicola send prayers up for people that are dying in wartime, dying impoverished, dying starving, dying with diseases that really could be cured from the local tree that they actually most probably sit under to shade from the elements. We tell her all of this. So why do you all insist on they say, they? Who are they? Look into your heart. They say the weather's going to be good. They say the inflation, sorry darling. Oh God, I just got a dying. The inflation rates have gone up. They say this is what gold costs. This is what this costs. This is what you must and mustn't do. Question your leaders. Question what is happening on your planet. Question yourselves. Question what responsibilities that you have to maintain your planet. Don't sit back and allow others to do it for you, for that means you remain closed. That means that you remain unawoken to what is happening. You have a responsibility for the next generations. You have a responsibility to create a united voice for those that haven't. You have no idea, on top of the wars that you're not told about, on top of the animals slaughtered in the name of the next costume that some human young soul wishes to wear. Slaughtered in the name of what? Humankind. You have no idea how many animals we have to heal once up here, and young children. And yet, through Nicky, through her prayers and through your prayers, you ask for peace. You ask for children to be protected. You ask for animals to be protected. You ask for the planet to be protected. We are here to lead you and to inspire you. We have no way to intervene in your free will. Everybody blames the word God. Everybody blames this name, this word, this entity. Why would he allow children to be suffering, killed, maimed? Why would he allow war? Why would he allow natural disasters? He hasn't allowed anything. We gave you free will. We gave you the run of this planet. It is down to ego and down to the leaders sitting on their pentacle hills that war, pain, death, disaster ensue. It has nothing to do with a higher being or a celestial realm. And as I started this conversation with Nicola, if we do not wake up in our masses, if we do not allow ourselves responsibility on this planet, there will be a demise. I just said, don't make them panic. She's like, and I'm not making them panic. It's not going to happen straight away. But 2026 is a big number. What's it add up to? 10. End of a journey. Perhaps it's the year of judgment. End of a journey, end of a chapter. We have got to start educating our younger generations on compassion, love, responsibility for animals, responsibility for children, responsibility. That is the biggest word. We are responsible for the lifespan of our planet. And if we choose not to be responsible, if we regress back into the shadows, thy will be done. Question your leaders, question your arrangements with the finances, the pentacles, question everything. Sign your documents to be a voice that stands amongst the rest. For this is the only way forward. Educate your next generations. The disasters won't stop. They are a reflection of what is happening to the planet. Straight out of it, what the hell? Is that okay? Oh my God, that's just really made me feel sick. I've just bolted back to earth. The thing, I can't remember the word for it, has turned itself on. Total eclipse. Oh God, what's the word? Alexa, stop music. Oh God, that is incredible. I feel like it is a sign that this happened so that people believe Okay, can I say it again? I need to send my energy back up because I feel ill. Gotcha, okay. Oh, a headache, I need to stop. It's just bashed me right back down. Perhaps people will look on this and present nothing but mirth towards it's not channeling. What's the word? The download, the connection, the conversation that you have had with me as a celestial being. So we created the resonance to start the music machine up to prove to you that it really is my presence connecting with Nicola. Take it or leave it. However, by leaving it and regressing into the shadows, you're allowing your planet and everything that's trying to thrive on it to slowly die. If you recall, certain laws have come in over your TikTok time to protect animals only because they were near to decimation. This needed to be done through filling in those forms. I know what she's saying. It's like she's talking about petitions it's like, for instance, you weren't allowed to do whaling anymore, you're not allowed to do certain fishing anymore, the white rhino is now protected, blah 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 blah. So it's all about petitions and speaking up for yourselves. This is what I feel she's trying to say, okay? So I'm not feeling great now because that just brought me way back down. I mostly have to mute that music, otherwise they won't let me put this video out, because it'll be a copyright strike. It was total eclipse of the heart. Turn around, bright eyes, turn around and face the reality of what responsibility you've got as a human on this planet. Because remember, you're just borrowing it for a little while before you then go back up to the spirit world. And while you're borrowing it, look after it. Don't rent it and trash it. That's my words, by the way, not Ariel's. Don't rent it and trash it. Respect it, maintain it, and create it so beautiful for the next person that's going to rent it. It's that simple. And yeah, there's my words, the fat cats. They'll be out. There's stuff happening. Credible people are being influenced by celestial beings, where people think, Christ, that they're they actually know what they're talking about and they're highly esteemed. That's what they're trying to reach. You can see it. Doctors, people that who are not like, oh yeah, a bit loony, psychic, whatever. They are having life-changing situations happen and they're speaking out about it. So people go, wow, there really is something going on there. Thank you. So I don't know how long I've been there for. I've just disconnected from that chamber. I've got her image is projecting a smile, so I don't know what we've said, but hopefully it might reach some people and help them to wake up and be responsible. Just been given, I don't know if it's Seraphim, given this most vibrant burgundy rose. So if any of you kind of see a rose, obviously in the UK it's going to be rare now because we're entering into like autumn, winter. If you see like even a rose in a picture or photo or an emblem comes up, it's right in your face, it's another synchronicity to validate what I've downloaded and bought for you today, or relayed for you today. They created, can I put this down now? They created, I've forgotten the word of it again. The music to come on to prove to you that they have got the power to create vibration and frequency, but only to enter into our energy. They can manipulate things like that to give us a synchronicity. Can I come back? No, not yet. They can't come and manifest and change human will. They just can't do it. They can bring their frequency into our consciousness and give us ideas and thoughts, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And they did for this, channeling heaven. I just knew that I had to start doing it. So I'm coming down. Oh my God, I'm so weird when you come down. If you ever do meditations, and if you've got the natural ability to connect with higher frequencies, then have some water or chocolate or something to ground you back down. I'll have a cup of tea. Wow. Can't believe that music turned itself on. That is incredible. I'm here completely alone, by the way. Apart from little Teddy. I will bring him up, but he's sleeping at the moment. I don't want to disturb him. I managed to get him on the beach for a little while. Jesus, 46 minutes? Bloody hell, that felt like 5 minutes. Jesus. Right, okay, well, I really hope it made sense. I kind of got the you know, as I was repeating it, I could see where we were going with it. It's all about the planet Ariel. That's exactly how I feel and see her energy. Oh my God. I need to go and get some sugar or something. Yeah, I'm a bit... I was brought out by that music, and I don't think she realised that would happen. Yeah, I'm a bit weird, so I need to just ground myself. I need to grab some black stones, some hematite. Please look out for any phenomena that takes place around me, because that seems to be happening a lot now. Lots of people, and even 2 spirit people, walked across the stage at G-Sick, and even Darren saw it and went, oh my God, everybody went, did you see that? I'm hoping it comes up on the video. But yeah, just see if there's anything weird and let me know, and put a timer on it if you see that. I really hope you've enjoyed this session. Sorry if it's taken so long. Jesus, I am so shocked. And obviously this zeolite is a right winner. Bloody hell, that was like, do not pass go straight there, mate. So thank you for listening. Please let me know what you have got from this, and I will continue doing them as long as you're happy to watch them. Until the next time, send you so much love and light.